distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in Nigeria, although the Constitution guarantees equality for everyone in the governance and political sphere, women have not enjoyed this constitutional provision. Women's population is fairly equal to men, but their role in the decision-making process is not commensurate. Discriminatory cultural and religious practices, the absence of legal safeguards, limited access to political party structures, lack of capacity, and poor funding are some of the challenges that have limited the ability of women to actively participate, especially in politics. Consequently, it will be difficult for Nigeria to achieve acceptable global standards enshrined in AU Agenda 2063, the SDGs, and Planet 50/50 by 2030. Since 2011, the decline in women's participation in politics has become more evident. In Nigeria's last election to the 8th Assembly, I have a senator, a distinguished senator, sitting here with me, a member of the 8th Assembly. Only 7 females out of 109 were elected as senators, and this is one of them, one of the 7. As a result, women's participation at that level and at decision-making levels has been constrained. To redress this situation, Nigeria is making serious efforts to create friendly political terrain to encourage women to participate more actively in governance at all levels. When we say governance, it includes women participation in politics. To gain a better understanding of the problem, a survey on women's participation and involvement in politics in Nigeria was recently conducted, and preliminary findings reveal a huge gender gap in both elective and appointive positions. Therefore, the following recommendations were proposed. That is, after the survey, the following recommendations were proposed. Inclusion of affirmative action in both the Constitution and Electoral Act in Nigeria. 2, ensure women's access to resources. 3, enforcement of current Electoral Act and institutional gender policy by INEC. I'm also happy that a commissioner from INEC, a federal commissioner from INEC, is here with us and is one of the panelists. To gain a better understanding of the problem, I told you a survey was done, and some of the recommendations I have told you. 1, the second is ensure women access to resources. The third is enforcement of current Electoral Act and institutional gender policy by INEC. Political parties to institute affirmative action measures to make women more visible within the party structure. And 5, enlightenment of political party members. For those of us that are in politics, including the distinguished senator, it is our responsibility to make sure that 4 and 5 are achieved. The recommendations 4 and 5 are achieved. In the area of women participation in peace and security processes, the Nigerian government, with the support of the European Union, through UN Women and the Nigerian Stability and Reconciliation Program (NSRP) project to promote women's engagement in peace and security in northern Nigeria, was launched in 2015. The main objectives are to strengthen women's role in conflict prevention, peacemaking, and peace building. The target states under the program are Adamawa, Gombe, Bauchi, and Plateau. The overall project goal is to create a conducive environment for the implementation of the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 at all levels in Nigeria. Let me use this medium to express Nigeria's commitment towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals 5, 10, and 16 aimed at achieving gender equality, promoting justice, peace, and strong institutions.
It is a known fact that women and children constitute over half of the world's population, and Parliament is expected to initiate gender-sensitive budget. However, gender-sensitive budgets are not given priority attention. Parliament must therefore ensure an inclusive, gender-sensitive budget that receives wide support to provide for women empowerment in policies, areas such as health, agriculture, environment, education, access to funds, and technological innovations that reduces poverty. Political leaders, actors, and stakeholders are calling on parliamentarians to look and to lead the way for women empowerment through legislation that break barriers, to pave the way for economic empowerment of women. The National Gender Policy of Nigeria remains a very powerful instrument. It gives the right interpretations as contained in the framework, the National Strategic Gender Framework. The National Assembly of Nigeria is expected to make some critical recommendations in this regard. Women political participation is crucial, and male parliamentarians are urged to support women in Parliament. The Electoral Act must take into cognizance the importance of women's human rights as a fundamental right. A conscientious electoral reform should be carried out to create more political space for women elective positions in direct proportion to the male candidates. And I'm glad to make mention here that we're working assiduously. I'm a committee member of the Constitutional Review Committee of the National Assembly, and I had to go around the clock to see that in the National Assembly we have over 87 members of that committee, to include the affirmative action in section 147, subsection 3 of the Constitution, that will give the women the 35%. We were able to do that. Again, the Constitution of the Federal Republic is in abeyance with what has been mentioned about some women combatant soldiers, section 42, subsection 3, again, where it talks about giving the women the equal opportunity, not gender-based, but again, subsection 3 now said, with reservation to the military and to the armed force or to the police. But now again, we're working on that to expunge that in the Constitution. If for any other thing, I think I will be the most happiest person to see that the affirmative action 35% is being laid off in our deliberation by the special grace. And one good thing again, I think I have to give kudos to the governor of Borno State, where I think again, as I take political weight, where he said each local government, if you're going for a councillor, one of those councillors must be a woman. So once we have over 25 local governments, and each of those local governments has one woman, and I think is another right step in the right direction. So obviously those are the political will. And we the women must support ourselves. The most important thing as a woman, that I said, if you want to go into politics, you have to close your ears, because you'll be called names. And if you don't want to be called a prostitute, then excuse me, as a woman you cannot be a politician, because those are the issues they use against us. And sometimes I remember one time we went on a meeting at about 2 a.m. and they looked at me, Binta, won't you go back to your husband? And I said, what about you? Don't you have wives? Why don't you go back to your wife? So those are the issues they try to see how we can push us backward. And even the minister here won that election, but because there are forces that didn't want her to move forward, but I strongly loved what she said. Time is of essence. Maybe it is not my time yet.
Even though there are more females than males on the voter register, that means fewer females voted during the 2015 elections. The question to then ask is this responsible for the lower number of women that we had in 2015 compared to 2011? That's a job for researchers in order to have empirical evidence to show this. However, we think at the Commission that this is partly the problem, the system of voting, accreditation, and returning to come and vote. What we have done in the new Commission is to collapse the two. because it is difficult. Most of the time, your polling unit is not right at your doorstep. You walk down there as a woman, you have children, you have family. Your family will eat on that day. So you walk down for accreditation and you return home, maybe to prepare something, and you now have to go back. Most of the time, what we find is that women don't bother to return.
Yes.
Okay, so that is why simultaneous accreditation and voting that we used throughout 2016 for all our end of tenure, rerun, and by-elections have adopted that, and that is what we propose to go on with for 2019. In-house, the Commission generally prides itself as one of the most gender-friendly election commission in the whole of Africa. And we have made deliberately, particularly in the last promotion exercise, endeavored to put more women at directorate and at administrative secretary levels.